In this lesson, we're going to take a look at fractional parts of numbers. In other words, pieces of a certain amount. Here's an example where we have 1/2 of 10. Now this one's really easy to do in our heads because we know how to cut 10 in half really easily. So half of 10 we know is 5. But what I want to do is we want to be able to figure out how to do that mathematically. In our heads we know that half of 10 is 5. But how can we do that mathematically? Well, one of the things to do is recognize that the word of means multiplication. It means times. So we could rewrite this as 1/2 times 10. And with the lesson that we did previously, we can change that 10 to a fraction. We could make it look like this, 10 over 1. So now we've got a multiplication problem using two fractions. And right away I can see that I can cross-cancel or diagonally reduce. The 10 and the 2 both have 2 in common, both have 2 as a factor, so I can divide them both by 2, and I get that. Now all I need to do is multiply. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 1 is 1, so our final answer then would just be 5. Let's do another one. We have 2/3 of 15. And we said that of means times. So it really is 2/3 times 15, written as a fraction, is 15 over 1. Now I can't reduce each of those fractions, but I can cross cancel. I see that both 3 and 15 have a 3 in common. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now I just multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. That 10 over 1, in simplest form, is just 10. Let's take a look at a story problem. I have a classroom of 20 students. 3/4 of them turned in their extra credit. How many students turned in extra credit? Well, it says 3/4 of them. If you remember, of means times. So I have 3/4 of, now it says 3/4 of them. The them that we're referring to is the 20 students. So 3/4 of the 20 students. So it's 3/4 times 20. Now write that as a fraction. I get 3/4 times 20 over 1. Now again, I can't reduce each of those fractions. They're already in lowest terms. But I can cross cancel. And I see that both 20 and 4 have 4 in common. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 3 and 1 don't have, or 3 and 1 can't be reduced. So now all I need to do is multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. And 1 times 1 is 1. So write that in lowest terms. It's just 15. So 3/4 of 20 is 15. So I look back at my original problem. How many students turned in extra credit? 15 students. Let's try another problem. On Mars, gravity pulls with about 1/3 of the gravity of Earth. How much would a 12-pound dog weigh on Mars? Well, writing out the problem, it would be 1/3 of, and of means times. So the dog weighs 12 pounds on Earth. So the dog would weigh 1/3 of those 12 pounds. So the number I'm going to multiply by is 12. 1/3 of 12 pounds. So rewrite that, 1/3 times 12 over 1. Look for any ways to reduce, and I can see I can do that diagonally with 12 and 3. They both have 3 in common. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now I just multiply. The numerators, 1 times 4 is 4. And the denominators, 1 times 1 is 1. Put 4 over 1 in lowest terms, or the easiest way of saying it is just 4. Now I go back to my original equation, or my original problem. It says, how much would a 12-pound dog weigh on Mars? Well, the answer would be 4, and then I would have to put my label, 4 pounds. So That's all that's necessary to find fractional parts of numbers. Remember that the word of means times, and you can turn any whole number into a fraction by putting it over a denominator of 1. Do your best.